not just you, he hasn't. If he come to the people with the whole book at once, you can say he's brilliant and he sit down and set everything perfect and neatly organized and so forth. But what makes it really great miracle is that it is revealed little by little according to occasions which are occurred, and once you put them next to each other and you find them in this perfect way.
Yes. No, this is amazing. This is a person cannot do it. Even if a group of people cannot do it.
Of course. If you write yourself text and you stay away from it, the flow of thought is cut.
Oh yeah.
And when you return back, if you don't read what you have.
Wallahi, excellent point. I never pay attention to this before. You are absolutely right.
You can write down and you may find contradiction afterwards.
And
because your mindset has been changed.
And I do have these things. I had my writings I cut off for some reason. So I'm going back. I said like what I was thinking. Wallahi, you are absolutely right. And spreading over 23 years after the age of 40, which is harder than younger, you tend to forget more. You cannot develop a skill after the age of 40 anyway. If you never done a painting until the age of 40, you cannot just become an
artist.
Yeah, the best artist ever known. Yeah, it is much harder.
حتى إذا بلغ أشده وبلغ 40 سنة.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate.
Excellent feedback. Thanks for sharing this. Yes, 23 years. So I think we are done for the 62, unless you wanna add something. So we can go to the 64. So I think 64 is summarizing the one of the core teaching of this book. And before that, getting into what it says, Ya Ahl al-Kitab. So this is encouraging us to outreach Ahl al-Kitab. That's my understanding.
Yeah, because
How can you say Ya Ahl al-Kitab if we sit here, never get out, never outreach them? How can we say Ya Ahl al-Kitab through the internet?
Yes.
No, you have to interact with them. You have to have a dialogue. You have to go to the picnic, to their place of worship. You have to be neighbor, right? You can live right next to them. You can work right next to them. So when it comes to having some quality dialogue, right? They're exchanging their point of view. I'm exchanging what I'm believing. So Allah is encouraging us to have a dialogue with them, to interact with them properly.
Yes. Of course, here it's referring to this command is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But even though you can follow, we are followers for him. So it says قل يا محمد
Right.
لأهل الكتاب. Okay. So this is a command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Prophet Muhammad to establish dialogue with these people and start to convince them somehow, at least not to commit shirk.
Yes. So the call, the da'wah, the invitation, I think it's a very logical invitation. It doesn't say come to believe what I believe. Instead it says let's come to the common terms.
Yeah, agree upon.
Yes, which both agree.
Borderline.
Yeah. Yeah, let's come to the words that we both agree.
And interestingly, if you start talking with someone from these people, they it's easy to get from them the word that God is one. You can find people like that.
Yeah.
They'll say yes, we believe in God and God is one.
Yes. So most Christians, actually almost all Christians are monotheist. They believe one God. Officially, if you ask their priests, their leaders, they say we believe one God. Almost all of them that I've met so far. So this is one of the thing that we are on the same page. That they say they believe in one God, one Allah, and when we say we believe in Allah, la ilaha illallah. So which is we can agree. So don't worship anything except Allah. So this is one of the first invitation.
And of course not to take others because some of them not just do shirk, they take some of their priests and ahbar.
Okay, let's go one by one. So the second is وَلَا نُشْرِكَ بِهِ شَيْئًا.
Yes.
Do not associate partner to Allah anything. Shay'an. Doesn't say Allah, it says shay'an. Anything. Right?
Yeah, because some people worship
Sun.
yeah,
Yeah. Some worship to
sun,
cow.
some nujum,
Yep. Some
like
stars.
sabun,
Yep. Stars.
sometimes trees.
Some people worship money.
Yeah,
Some people worship their kids.
yeah, asmam.
Yep. Some.
أهل الكتاب النصارى واليهود اليهود والنصارى.
That's a good question. Güzel bir soru.
Yes,
Güzel bir sual.
yes, they are.
They are, but there's a reason Allah mentioned Ahl al-Kitab, not to their name. So we have verses they mention, for instance, right here, Ibrahim wasn't Yahud or not Ibrahim.
It's also طائفة من أهل الكتاب.
Right.
Yeah, أهل الكتاب. It's most of the dialogue here with أهل الكتاب, which is the broader category, all of them.
Right.
It's a term gathering all of them,
Yes.
all of the Jewish and Christians.
So another question to his question: are Muslims are Ahl al-Kitab?
No, according to Quran, it has never been mentioned this term to refer to us. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to refer to us, he say simply al-Muslimun. يا أيها المؤمنون يا أيها المسلمون.
نحن لسنا أهل الكتاب.
أهل الكتاب as a term in Quran refers to Jewish and Christian.
أهل
not
الكتاب
النصارى.
ما أنا أعتقد إنه حتى نحن أهل الكتاب. كتاب الله القرآن الكريم. ولكن من ذكر اسمه كتاب؟
According to Quran, we haven't been referred to as Ahl Kitab.
So do we have any scholars that say that yes, we might be Ahl al-Kitab also?
I don't come across such thing.
I heard, but I don't know. Some ulama say we are also Ahl al-Kitab, but he did his research, so
Yeah,
معنى أهل الكتاب
ابحث عن أهل
كتاب
الكتاب.
كتاب
الإنجيل والتوراة والزبور هؤلاء أهل كتب ما كتب شيء
Quran is كتاب
يدل إلى الله.
Yeah.
Because usually when you read Quran, you will find talking about the non-Muslims in some terms. You have al-Ummiyin
Mhm.
and Ahlul Kitab. Al-Ummiyin, the people who doesn't have
Book.
book to rely on, or they don't follow, they don't have the book to follow.
Right.
And these are the illiterate people, Ummiyin, who don't have knowledge at all because they don't follow any book.
Right.
And the next category, the second one, is
يعني
Jewish and
يعني
Christians, who has a gospel.
يعني يا أهل الكتاب مثلا مثال يعني يا أهل العلم يا أهل العلم أهل الكتاب أنتم تعلمتم بالكتاب أن الله
صح.
يعني
طبعا. طبعا.
ما معنى أهل الكتاب يعني أهل العلم إن الله يناديهم
العلم لا يأتي إلا من خلال الكتب.
Yeah.
Those are the people. Those are the two people who had in the time of at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Those are the only two categories of people who had such book.
Right.
And when you find these verses, it says قل يا أهل الكتاب.
يعني
He outreached them, talked to them, and start establishing dialogue with them, and telling them that
إن هذا لهو القصص الحق وما من إله إلا الله. يعني القصص من الكتاب، يعني إنه الله سبحانه وتعالى علمه في الكتاب قصص الحق، فذلك يعني إنه يناديهم يا أهل الكتاب، يعني إنه قل يا أهل الكتاب سورة يا أهل الكتاب، يعني هذا زمان أهل الكتاب
Her zaman değil. So we talk about this. Utul kitab.
سورة
أهل الكتاب. آتيناهم الكتاب.
في آخر آية يا أهل الكتاب لم تكفرون بآيات الله وأنتم تشهدون، يعني وأنتم تعلمون، يعني أنتم تعلمون.
تعلمون.
أين جاء الآية؟
من الكتاب. يعني إن الله ينادي أهل الكتاب أهل العلم، ليس ينادي مثلا عامة الناس الأميين.
Yeah. So honestly, I don't see why not we fall under this Ahl al-Kitab as long as we have similar attribution. So it does.
Let me recall upon one of the verses that may make it clear that we are not referred to in Quran as Ahlul Kitab.
Okay.
Like
Please.
for example,
في آية
اليوم أحل لكم الطيبات وطعام الذين أوتوا الكتاب حل لكم. So, aren't we from الذين أوتوا الكتاب? We are أوتوا القرآن.
Right.
Okay. But when it is mentioned أوتوا الكتاب حل لكم طعام الذين أوتوا الكتاب حل لكم. So they are definitely others. They are not us. You got the point?
Okay. Last week we talked about Sunni Shia. So if you go to some Shia's house to eat, you might consider this verse to eat from his food. So I'm saying, my point is, I'm not saying this is absolutely true. I'm saying why not we fall under this. So when I talk to the Shia, a Sunni, we can.
They are Muslims.
Right.
They are not Ahlul Kitab. They are Muslims.
Yep.
So you definitely eat at your brother's house. What's the problem?
Right.
But what might need clarity, how could we,
Yo,
whether we can eat from their food or not.
Mm.
And this is why this verse
الشيعة
is
Uh-huh.
stated.
الشيعة سورة البقرة
Mhm.
فتؤمنون ببعض الكتاب وتكفرون ببعض.
Yep.
الشيعة بعض الكتاب بعض.
Yok. They believe all the Quran. They believe it. As far as I know. Benim bildiğim kadarıyla Şia Kur'an-ı Kerim'in hepsine inanıyor. O külli verses.
ليه؟
Oh.
تفسير
Oh. Hmm.
تفسير
Hmm.
تفسير başka tefsir.
Ha. Tamam.
يعني فتؤمنون ببعض الكتاب وتكفرون ببعض.
Right.
فما جزاء من يفعل ذلك منكم إلا خزي في الحياة الدنيا.
Mhm.
يعني مثلا آية القرآن الكريم
Mhm.
قراءة أما تفسير başka.
Tamam.
Böyle yani.
Tamam. No, this is a çok güzel soru. Yani this is excellent question. Excellent. So I think it does require like a really research.
يعني أكبر
If we return back to this verse,
أكبر دليل
verse you mentioned,
إنه الشيعة يخالفون كلام الله، يقولون كلهم يقولون تاه الأمين. ما يعني تاه الأمين؟
نعم.
جبريل عليه السلام
Mhm.
يقولون هم
Mhm.
القرآن يجب أن ينزل إلى سيدنا علي،
Mhm.
ولكن تاه جبريل نزل إلى سيدنا محمد.
this is we'll not end this debate.
Right.
Let us.
Sonra
Yeah.
konuşalım onu. Şia
Yeah, it's
Sünni-
very controversial.
Yeah. Let's sonra konuşalım o konuyu.
Oh,
So the verse you mentioned is referring to this. Yes. The beginning of this verse. ثم أنتم هؤلاء تقتلون أنفسكم وتخرجون فريقا منكم من ديارهم تظاهرون عليهم بالإثم والعدوان وإن يأتوكم أسارى تفادوهم وهو محرم عليكم إخراجهم. Okay, so this statement is for Bani Israel.
بني إسرائيل
And Bani Israel are not supposed to kill each other in the first place. So they started fighting like two group of people. Both are from Bani Israel, and they started fighting each other. And when it comes to captivity,
Mhm.
they pay money to free their captives.
Mhm.
Okay, يدفع فلوس عشان يطلع أخوه من الأسر.
بعرف
وهو أصلا المفروض ما يحاربوش. فهو لو بيلتزم if he is to follow the book that they have, they shouldn't fight in the first place.
True.
So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says أفتؤمنون ببعض الكتاب وتكفرون ببعض. So they are not supposed to fight each other according to the book, and they fight each other.
Mhm.
And when it comes to the captivity, they try to follow the book and pay money to free their captives.
Mhm.
So what's wrong? What's the matter with you? Why don't you listen to all of the verses? You just believe in some of it and disbelieve the others. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this. And even though this statement is for Bani Israel,
Mhm.
it also applies to us.
Of course.
We should believe in all of this
Right.
from cover to cover.
Yep.
So whenever if someone from the Muslims believe in some verses and gets doubt about any verse,
Right.
he will fall under this punishment.
Yes.
ومن يفعل ذلك منكم. Let's continue reading. فما جزاء من يفعل ذلك منكم إلا خزي في الحياة الدنيا ويوم القيامة يردون إلى أشد العذاب وما الله بغافل عما تعملون. So if someone, like for example, any verse he gets doubt about it, or he don't like it or disbelieve in it, he will fall under this punishment.
Yes, absolutely. Doğru. Ya bu daha güzel oldu, daha güzel oldu, daha güzel oldu. Çok güzel. So again here, so if even çok güzel bir soru. That's a great question. Why? Because we have we don't have much dialogue between Sunni and Shia. So these verses can inspire us to establish a proper dialogue.
Yes.
See see he's mentioning something that we completely disagree. They might find something that they completely disagree, and you cannot establish a dialogue starting from the disagreement. We have to find the common grounds like this.
Yeah, common ground.
كلمة سواء. So between us, so we can start, like this. Don't worship anybody, anything except Allah. Don't associate, partnership, anything. Anything. Do you agree? Yes. Do I agree? Yes. Okay. Let's move on. The third is ولا يتخذ بعضنا بعضا أربابا من دون الله. So do not take one of us each other as lords except Allah. So instead of Allah.
Yes.
Instead of Allah. So unfortunately we see this, especially in the Christian world. They refer to Jesus as Lord, which is Rabb. And they also, in the history, some priests, pastors, and the church itself become in the position of Allah. They forgive people, they give piece of land from the heaven.
They go on do confessions.
They have their confession, they accept their sins, they forgive their sins. So they are acting instead of Allah.
Yeah, they are playing the role of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Unfortunately, if you study some Muslim communities, yes, we do have, alhamdulillah, it's not everybody. So you find that there are some people who are far from the book. They are Ahl al-Kitab, but they don't really study or research or read. They are witness. وَأَنْتُمْ تَشْهَدُونَ. They are witness. They are not ulama. They are not witnessing, just witnessing. I think this is a key. That's a key. There is a reason Allah mentioned them as a witness, not
I think because they witnessed Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and
yes.
It is mentioned in their book.
Yes, this is a yes. You can say maybe this is for that time, but if you take this universal, if you apply to today, so today Ahl al-Kitab, yes, some know, someone mentioned in that book, but most of them don't know. If you go to the church or synagogue or temple, they have certain verse they keep reading, and most of the books not even read.
Oh yeah, I see.
So similar to some Muslims also, whatever you memorize, you keep reciting that. You don't recite most of the Quran. So we are also similar, except Ramadan. Some people cover the whole.
اقرأ الصفحة.
What? Ne?
الصفحة.
Sayfa mı? Sayfa 57.
10 here.
Okay.
برضه
ها لما تلبسون الحق بالباطل وتكتمون الحق وأنتم تعلمون.
وقالت طائفة من أهل
صح.
آمنوا
صح.
بالذي أنزل على الذين آمنوا وجه النهار وكفروا
واكفروا
واكفروا
آخره لعلهم يرجعون.
لا يؤمنون بالله.
You know why this verse is revealed? This verse refers to some of the
During the revelation, during the
it's during the period of revelation.
yeah.
Some of their scholars have an evil plan.
Right.
And what was the plan? That some of the scholars themselves will go and play with the people and pretend that they become Muslims.
Right.
Here is this is الذين آمنوا آمنوا. This is a plan. آمنوا بالذي أنزل على الذين آمنوا. So go and act as if you have believed in the Quran, which is revealed on the believers at the daytime. وَكْفُرُوا آخِرَهُ. It doesn't really mean the period of one day. You may for instance go and go in public and say أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أن محمد رسول الله, and you pretend that you are becoming a Muslim after you have been a scholar in Christianity or in Judaism, okay? And after a week or two, you return back. That's the evil plan.
Yes.
And what they target by doing that is that al-ummiyin, okay, or the followers that
So
they follow
confuse them.
will no, they will say, because they build trust upon time for their scholars, and when they find the scholars going to Islam and then returning back, they will follow them. And this is not all of Ahlul Kitab, it's Ta'ifa. It's just a small group of them had this plan to deceive people and so that if you don't have much knowledge like the scholars, and you find that the scholars going to Islam and then returning back, then you think, oh, if it's not the real religion, they would stay on it. So it is not real. So this is a big delusion.
Yes.
This is the plan that they made. And then they are saying وَلَا تُؤْمِنُوا إِلَّا لِمَنْ تَبِعَ دِينَكُمْ. So and don't trust any except of your own religion. So they are just playing with people. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned قُلْ إِنَّ الْهُدَى هُدَى اللَّهِ. Whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to guide,
Yeah.
is guided.
Yes. So I think this is a very serious. I think this is also very inspiring for Muslims. Don't taking each other as Rabb min dunillah, except Allah. Some of the communities is referring Prophet as so this is an extra detail, but those who want to research, they can do the research. So some Arabs, not all, when they talk about the Prophet, they say Sayyidina. And I found that some of the non-Arabs translate this as Rabbana, Rabbi, Rabbana.
Oh.
So for instance, in the Turkish equivalent, they say Efendimiz, referring to the Nabiullah. Efendi means Rabb in a way, you know. You can argue. So Efendi does translate into Arabic as Rabb, back and forth. So it does have a meaning of Sayyidina. It also has meaning of Rabb.
You know that we use it in Egypt.
Yeah, they
We use
they-
Effendi,
Effendi.
especially in the military, because
Yes.
of
The rankings
yeah. When you're talking to your
higher.
higher rank,
Yeah.
you say, yes, tamam Effendi.
Tamam Effendi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
So
it's
yes.
because Turkish has a great
Influence.
influence in
Yes.
Egypt, especially in the period of
Yeah.
building the military.
Yes. So
So I got the point that
Yes.
you are referring to someone higher
right.
in rank,
So
but it shouldn't be translated in English as Lord.
so it does translate as Lord. It does when you translate back to the English or Arabic.
No.
It does.
That's a problem.
So in the Turkish Gospel, Injil and Tevrat, they translate Rab as Efendi, referring to the Jesus in the Gospel part, referring to the Allah in the Torah part. But today's people use it as referring to the Prophet and to their scholars. Interestingly. But when I ask them, are you aware of what are you doing? Most of the time they are not noticing.
That this is a
This
maybe,
might
maybe
yeah.
shirk.
Yes, this might be misunderstood over 200, 300 years. People start. So it's just I don't want to be harsh, but I want to be be aware. When it is shirk, we have to be super strict. When it is shirk, when it is, we shouldn't take a chance. Oh, that's okay. No, even one person out of 1,000 may misunderstand this. We should avoid. For instance, Sahaba never called Rasulullah Sayyidina. Never. If you cannot find any text, they never refer him as Sayyidina, as some of the Arabs do today. So they call him Rasulullah. They call him, that his proper name, what Allah gave him. Instead of they make up some different names later on. So any little change make some diversion over 1,000 years.
Of course, we have a high respect for him,
Yes.
but it shouldn't exceed the limit to fall into this trap and commit shirk.
But this is the shaitan tricks. People say, even the Christian world, they you ask them like, why you do this to Jesus? They say we love him. But you love him, but you cannot make him more than what he is.
Yes.
That doesn't make love. So if we love the messengers, prophets, we should call them what Allah called them. This is the best title. You cannot come up with a better title. Being Rasulullah is the greatest title. You cannot just come up with something better. So we should go back to the original. We shouldn't add some of the title that we came up with later on. For Arabs, for non-Arabs also, we should never. Unfortunately, I think this is my observation. I feel it. This is very much misunderstood. Not pay attention. So people defend themselves. They say we love him. That's why we call him. If we love him, we should stick to the original. What
Yes,
is right.
I agree with you. We just say Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Yes. So either Nabiullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam or Rasulullah. When we say Nabi, it is encourage us to give him salat salam support. When he is Rasul, he is Rasulullah. So yes, definitely we should seek what is in the first generation, during his friends, what they call him, what they call him while he's with them, while he's not with them, referring to him. So, and
exaggeration.
Exaggeration.
Makes it, especially on long terms, it can deviate. Like for example, the names mentioned in the Quran for some of the asnam, the idols that Arabs used to worship.
Mhm.
Do you know that they were at their living time, they were very good people,
Oh yeah. Yep.
and see how it turned out.
Right. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So this is another instance. The people used to, because they were good people,
Mhm.
and they used to like go to them and getting inspired by their good deeds, ask them to ask Allah, then turn it out to be asking them directly without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then they worship them. So that's why Satan deludes humans.
Yes.
Little by little, you feel into
Satan is more successful if he approach through the right, meaning
yes.
if he says something nice, man, just love him more. Instead of telling the messenger, just tell him the Lord, just tell him to serve. This is changing the words, so, and it is diverting little by little, and you find that person became a god.
Yeah, at the end you are completely
Different.
Astray.
Yes.
completely going astray.
Yeah, you are totally different position. So that's why the bid'ah, starting something, innovations are prohibited, reminding us, and also we cannot put anybody except min dunillah, and also humans, scholars, shuyukh, leaders, especially charismatic leaders. If it's not charismatic, people have easy time. But if leader is very charismatic, people fall into this trap is more than usual.
Yes, I agree.
For same for ulama, same for anybody who has position, famous people. Today people do worship. Unfortunately, may Allah protect us. Right now, this is a great danger. This is one of the dangers that I just wanted to elaborate.
Yeah, and before we finish that, we have, unfortunately, that's sad but true, we have some graves for Salihin.
Right. People make.
They will go there and
It's like Kaaba.
and commit. Oh my God.
Yep. We do see in the Shia tradition also. They have some holy sites.
And they asking these people, these
For help,
dead
for help.
people
For help, madad.
for
Yep.
which
So-
is completely insane.
Well, when you go and ask them why you do that, they say we are putting him as a shafa'at, is in the middle, so he can intercede us. So they are not saying, and they have their arguments. They say this is just a means, and they.
No, when they asked Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعان. So you go, it's direct.
Right.
Directly, you go to your Lord.
Right.
You don't have to go to dead body. Dead one has nothing to do to
Yes.
himself,
Yes.
not to you. To
Yes.
himself, he has
Yes.
nothing to do to
Yes.
himself.
Yes.
So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from
Ameen.
from
Allahumma ameen.
This is
Allahumma
very,
ameen.
very dangerous, very serious.
Allahumma ameen.
Because you have many verses stating that shirk
Yep.
will invalidate all of your good deeds.
Allah.
It will go in vain,
Yes.
as if you have done nothing.
Yes. And
ولئن أشركت ليحبطن عملك ولتكونن من الخاسرين. So,
thank you.
yeah.
And then shirk khafi, the hidden shirk is the most dangerous one. Because you don't notice.
It may come just like if you went to a doctor and the doctor gives you medication and you become good, you say thanks to the doctor and you forget about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is one kind of hidden shirk.
Yes. You
You
say,
should-
oh,
you
I took medicine. I'm back to Sahha. But you should say, Allah give me health through this. This was the means. But the real provider is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just another. Or you have kids, you say, oh, Lord, see how nice I made this kid?
Oh,
You know? See, wallahi.
yes.
Sometimes you work hard, you say, see how nice I did this? Sometimes you study, you became alim, especially for ulama, since you are doing your PhD. I noticed this. When you study too much, you start feeling like,
Arrogance.
you're like, you know what, I have much better than others. I know this much. This is a great danger. You should say, Allah bless me with this knowledge. This is a blessing from Allah. Yes, I didn't sleep much as other people. I didn't enjoy much like other, but still, this is a blessing.
Of course.
هذا فضل من ربي.
And then it came to my mind right now, Qarun. What he said.
From علم.
إنما أوتيته على علم عندي. And that's it. فخسفنا به وبداره.
سبحان الله.
It's very dangerous. So even though we just talked about a couple of verses, but Allah it has more to say.
Yes, it does. Well, we'll continue inshallah where we left off tomorrow.
Inshallah.
But it was a really beneficial. Some of the feedback I never heard. So Allah blessed us with this today. May Allah gives us the thank for this ni'mah. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات